Hello, Kuram. Good morning. So, good morning, all the people who have joined. Hello, Malti, welcome. Hello, Gulsen, welcome. Hodan, welcome. If you are interested to join, you have to join me from the link that I've shared at the top of this. Hi, Faisal, welcome. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? Oh, that's cool. What have you learned? Mm-hmm. All right. That's really pretty cool. Okay, so thank you very. Um, I believe that you have subscribed to this class only for speaking and writing, right? In IELTS exam. Okay, so I'm going to give you some speaking tips about IELTS exam today. Is that okay? Give me one quick second, please. So, Noman is here. Welcome. Let me bring him. So, where are you from again, Faisal? You're from Indonesia. All right. Noman, welcome. As you go through for the IELTS speaking and writing, I'll give you some basic tips for your pronunciation development. So sometimes we pronounce S as a Z, okay? And this one is one of them, like your country's name, Indonesia, rather than Indonesia, Sha and Za. You understand the difference? So S sounds like Z, and S sound like S. Yeah? Letter S has two basic sound. One of them is soft sound, which is S as S, Sha, and harder sound or dark sound as Z, Z, similar. So what like Indonesia, Visa, Asia, Malaysia, here S should be sounded like Z. Okay, and the, uh, I'm sorry, what's the question again? Yes, this is really an important feature to know when S should sound like Z, and S has got another sound, Sha. So Sha, Sa, and za. Okay. Now, before we explain, did I explain that we have got voiced or unvoiced or non-voiced or voiceless sounds? Have I explained it to you? Faisal, do you remember? Have I explained it or not? Hmm. Yes, and there is a rule. Yeah, that's okay. I got a moment, please. Give me one quick second, please. So before that, we need to understand, possibly I have not explained, what are voiced and unvoiced sounds. Okay, so give me one quick second. So voice sounds are those, we have got a vocal cord that's inside our throat, right, Faisal, and all the listeners? So what happens when we pronounce, there are two types of sounds of each and every pronunciation of English words, whatever English words are there. Hi, Gopal, thanks for the subscription. So if you ever feel that when you're pronouncing the word, your vocal cord is vibrating, and you'll feel it, let me stop it. Can you see me, Faisal? So our vocal cord is inside our throat because I'm showing by my hand. If you feel that when you're pronouncing the word, your throat or the vocal cord is vibrating, that is the voiced sound. All right, but when it doesn't vibrate, hi Henry's here, let me bring him, then we call it voiceless or unvoiced or non-voiced. Is is that clear? Hello Henry, welcome. How are you doing today? Is it okay to speak a bit loudly or maybe bring your microphone close to your mouth? I know that it's midnight in your country. Great, thank you very much. Okay, so as I've started explaining voiced and unvoiced sound, once again, all the letters of English alphabet and all the words of English language has been classified in two groups. First is voiced, another is unvoiced. Sometimes they are called non-voiced or voiceless. What exactly it means? Once again, yeah? Unvoiced, non-voiced. So we have got vocal cord inside our throat. If you ever use this vocal cord to pronounce any words, we call those words voiced words. And other words we pronounce sometimes through nose, like n, m, and also through our mouth. Okay, those words are called unvoiced or voiceless or non-voiced. Is that clear? Exactly. So from where we are pronouncing the words, as long as you get the point, then it will be much easier for you to pronounce any word correctly. Now let's come to the point when S should sound like Z. So Henry, because Faisal, like your name, sometimes people say Faisal, that S, like Z sound, and sometimes people say Faisal, Sa sound. So letter S has three sounds basically. Okay, I'm First sound is S as S. Okay. Then S as Sha. Sa, Sha, and Z. Today we'll discuss when S should sound like Z. Okay, so if you remember, when we have got vowel sounds, which is A, E, I, O, U, and there are consonant sounds. So when the letter S is after a vowel or another S or a voiced consonant, it is pronounced as a Z sound. Now, which are voiced consonant? Now, this is another question for you. Okay. Actually, phonetics is really an amazing part of English, and one topic always leads to another topic. So let me give you voiced consonants quickly. Okay, give me one quick second, please. Okay, so can you see that now? Voiced consonants, a list. Let me know, Henry, if it is okay. I'm making it a little bit bigger so that all of you can see that. So as you pronounce a letter, you feel the vibration of your vocal cords. As I have explained, if you feel a vibration, the consonant is voiced one. And these are the voiced consonants. B, would you like to read one time, all of you? Faisal first, then afterward, Henry. Very good. Uh, Henry, is it clear? So, can you see the list of voiced consonants? Would you like to read it, please, just one time? So that, the, yeah, these letters, yeah. Now, you can easily find out the letters, the consonant that are not mentioned here, those are unvoiced. And luckily, all vowel sounds are unvoiced, as you can see, unvoiced. So the vowels are, what are the vowels, Henry, if you remember? U. Okay. And also, please bear in mind, both of you and many people who are listening to me, the consonant W and Y are called semi-vowels. Okay, in Latin, or semi means half, but basically in many cases, these two letters work as vowel as well when there is no other vowel sound. And the reason is that W sounds like O most of the cases. Okay, W and Y, semi-vowels. And W sounds like most of the case O, and whereas Y sounds most of the case I. There are thousands of words like omen, ooh. Okay, let me give you examples so that you understand. Ooh, okay, etc. Then sorry, words like, say, sympathy. Here, both of the Y sounds like I. All right. Then ceased, gist, summary, etc. Okay, your homework will be for both of you to find out some word that has got W and Y, and you can practice at home. Remember, in this lesson, because we have got an hour lesson, will not go details. But if you need any help and support, always write in the subscriber chat so that I can communicate with you guys. Okay, any other question about voiced and unvoiced? Uh, ga- gas is sa sound. Yeah, no, g- gas, not gas, gas. Sha. Okay. So once again, Faisal and Henry, remember S has three sounds: sa, s, sha, sh, and z. All right. And today our final and most important sound is when S should sound like Z. Okay. I'm explaining in a moment. Hang on a second. When S sounds like Z. Okay. That's the topic. Now we're coming at the explanation S or Z. When the letter S is after a vowel, remember Faisal and Henry, there are always exceptions. It is not always Z. Another S sound or a voiced consonant, most of the cases it is pronounced as Z, like logs, tubes. Look at these examples. Beds, moves, clothes, was, becomes, he's, passes. Okay. Beaches, washes, packages, noses. So your question is glass, right? All right. Uh, Before glass, GLASS. What do you think? It should be glass or glass? Yes, it is glass. As we see, there are always some exceptions. Glass is one of them. Uh, but it is, remember, in British English, it is R sound, glass, and American said glass. There is another sound is there. Okay, and pronounce the es as, is it after the consonant like as, jet, as in vision, and schwa sound. You know schwa sound, Faisal? Do you remember schwa sound? Schwa sound. This is the one. Okay. Mhm. Okay, I'll explain briefly what is schwa sound. So schwa sound, that is the symbol. Schwa sound is another vowel sound which sounds like o or u, It could be at the beginning, middle, or at the end. And it is also called lazy sound, or the sound that is ignored. But if it is at the beginning of the word, we must pronounce it very softly. Words like you said just now, about, all, okay? And here, A is frozen, and family. It is not family, it's family, remember. And I is frozen. So the impact of schwa sound is that when there's a schwa sound, we do not pronounce it at all if it's in the middle. And honestly, for schwa sound, we have to take another lesson. Let's move on. As or Z. So is it clear? So Asia, visa. The other thing to remember is to pay attention when listening to native English speakers. The third reason means that you have to practice saying two consonants together so you don't leave the S and Z because of mouth. And honestly, it's a matter of practice. Okay. So words like cars, bears, race, experts, apartments, you have to just remember it. When S and when Z. Honestly, building sound is very difficult part of learning. And because you asked Indonesia and Indonesia, that's why this topic came. Okay, let's move on. Our today's topic would be speaking practice. If you remember, we're going to focus on that as well. So is it more or less clear about the S or Z sound? Yes, please, both of you. And also, as always, I mentioned, if you're ever confused about any word or pronunciation, go to the individual dictionary. It could be web dictionary as well, and write the word and listen to it carefully and try to imitate it. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to now. Hang on a second. Speaking practice. Okay. Before that, I like to give you some more tips about dial speaking. I'm going to share the page. And by the way, if you've got any question in the meantime, please ask me. I'll be happy to explain. Okay, in IELTS speaking task, there are three tasks: task one, task two, and task three, and both uh, general and academic. And if you remember, speaking task has four features that are assessed and you get marks. And number one is fluency. Okay. Number two is vocabs, which you get 25%. Then number three is using wider ranges of grammar and accuracy, another 25%. And the last one is pronunciation. Please note that it is pronunciation, it is not accent. Sometimes people are confused whether we should have accent in IELTS or any other certified exam. No, you don't have to have any kind of accent, but you must follow the pronunciation techniques. As you go through with this practice, I'll give you some tips about the pronunciation techniques. One of them I have just explained, S and Z. Like, so you have to just simply remember Faisal, like Indonesia, Visa, Malaysia, Asia, those are Z sounds. Similarly, his, those, these has Z sound. And sometimes, depending on the word, like house and house, one is noun, another is verb. When it is verb, it is Z sound, like house, close, blouse, rouse. When it is noun, it is S sound, like house, close, etc. Okay, so for the speaking, we need to have few things. Number one, please do not memorize any answers. Tip number one. And why is that? Very often our learners browse many websites and they think that, oh, this answer is amazing, let's memorize and use it. Do not do it, please, because IELTS exam is the exam that will evaluate your creativity, your speaking style, okay, the way you talk. And you know what, Faisal and Henry, it is always possible to get 100% marking in fluency in vocab and grammar. And if you get that, you easily get band score 7.5. Let me explain how. Because 25% of 9 is 2.25. Now, if you get 2.25 in 3 sections, obviously you're going to get 6.75 from this section. Okay? And picture it, if you get at least 50% from the pronunciation part, and that is 1.13, you're going to get easily 8. Band score 8 is very easy in speaking. I'm just assuming. Many of my students got 8.5, even 9, even in speaking. Okay? And always believe in yourself, both Henry and Faisal. It is achievable because you guys speak well. So I believe that it should be easier for both of you. Okay, so do not memorize any answer. Number two, do not use big and unfamiliar words. Sometimes some students use some new words, big words, and some very high standard academic words. My suggestion would be when you learn a word, make sure you know the meaning and how it can be used. And three C's are important in this case. Three C's for any word. The first C is content or context. Second C is collocation, how it can be used. And the third C is connotation, whether it can be used positively, negatively, and neutrally. So collocation is the natural way to use one word with another. For example, listen to, subscribe to, hop on, hop off, for example, okay? And connotation is the process when you see a word, you can feel it. Oh, how should I use this word? Let me give you example, okay? Faisal and Henry, like the word intelligent. What do you think when you see the word, Faisal? Mm-hmm. Very, very good. How about you, Henry? Yeah, you can make. Can you make a sentence, please? Very good. You see, you have explained both of you very amazing. And what do you think? Does it give you a positive meaning or negative meaning or nothing at all from the sentence, Henry? Like my son is yes, for example, sorry, it should be positive. That's great. So this is the impact of connotation, both Henry and Faisal. It is always a positive meaning. But this word, artless, I've written another word. What do you think about this word? Hmm. Yeah, sorry, Faisal, let Henry finish it. Okay, so you're explaining in a negative way. There is a note here. How about you, Faisal? It should be negative. Okay. Okay, so let me show you what is the impact of connotation. All right. Basically, when the word less is there, it always gives a negative meaning. But in is vocabs, let me show you from the Cambridge Dictionary quickly. Look, artless means simple and not wanting to deceive. Yeah. Can you see the screen, both of you? So synonym is ingenuous. That means when somebody is genuine, doesn't have anything fake on him, we can call the person, oh, he's an artless person. Though it may have negative impact, but it is not. It is a positive connotation. Some words could be really confusing, and this is one of them. Okay, so that is the impact of connotation. All right. Point number two. Point number three, use a range of grammatical structure when you're speaking. Okay, let me ask you this question. As I explain, I will go through the example. Uh, have you got hobbies, both of you? Okay, would you like to explain your hobbies, please? Mm-hmm. All right, great. How about you, Henry? Do you have hobbies? And if mhm. Okay, amazing. Both of you answered well. The reason is that, look, when you're answering, you are using different kinds of grammar structure. And that is very much important when you're speaking in IELTS exam, in normal conversation with other people. But please remember, if there is a question, do you have hobbies? Then you have to use the answer yes and no. Yes, I have got few types of hobbies, or some hobbies. Then you explain what are those hobbies. Okay, Henry. Faisal has answered already, yes. And please remember, in every question in IELTS exam, there is a question pattern. Use the pattern and then answer it. And obviously, when you're answering, use different kinds of structure, and that is normal. Great. Next one is, this is just an example how you can use different kinds of you know grammatical structure. And don't worry about your accents. Once again, it is the pronunciation that is matter. Many people are really ashamed of, or I should say shy, or scared whether their accent is bad or wrong. Don't worry about that. But try to focus on your pronunciation. And also, Faisal, you have just used one expressions, one of the. Remember, if you ever use this expression, one of the, after that, the subject should be always plural. Remember, this is one of the, this is a common mistakes in English very often we make. Subject plural. Okay, like one of the sports, one of the best colleges, one of my amazing friends, one of the subjects. Please, yeah, remember this is a common mistake as well. All right, let's move on, and we'll come back pronunciation. Pause to think. Uh, Please remember that sometimes you can pause when you're answering because you don't know all the answers. Uh, but you cannot pause more than 3 to 5 seconds. Please bear in mind, it is very important. If you want to be fluent speaker, you cannot pause more than 5 seconds. Then after 5 seconds, you can start speaking. Say, for instance, if I ask you, what is global warming, Faisal? Well done, because you know the answer. You have answered it straight away. How about you, Henry? What is global warming? Hmm. Yeah, your answer is more or less correct as well. Faisal answered well. uh, Bravo. But sometimes, some speakers use this kind of expression to think about it. That's an interesting question. I've never thought about that. But then you're answering. Oh, let me see. That's a good point. Or that's a difficult question, but I'll try and answer it. Please bear in mind once again, whenever speaking, speak naturally. Okay, articulately, we call it the natural tone. You don't have to bring anyone's accent. So sometimes with this kind of questions, we call it to buy the time. That means you're taking and thinking at the same time while you're speaking. Because our human brains are adapted in such a way you can speak, but still you can think. So that will be another tip for you. If you don't know any answer, even you say, sorry, I don't know, make it a positive, but I'd like to know it in the future. But you both have answered well. Okay. Crutch words, feelers, you know this, both of you, Faisal and Henry. Yes, so crutch words or feelers are those words which you very often use in a conversation, like repetitively, you know what, well, oh, I see, actually. These are often used in conversations. I'll suggest you, where possible, just avoid it. You don't have to use the same words more than twice. If you ever use it, it will sound really annoying to the listeners. It is a very good advice if you want to be public speaker or a good speaker in IELTS exam or any other certified exam. Okay, so all right. So these are the common words we use very often, like you know what, actually, yeah, well, yeah. And also another things very often our student use, like, oh, have you done this job? Yes, I've done it. Or no, I have not done it. Please avoid saying yes twice or no twice. Yes, I have done it. Or no, I haven't done it. Give a pause. Okay, another important matter I forgot to mention. Sometimes in IELTS exam, you may need to use words that are not in English. In that case, you are allowed to use the non-English words. You have to give a pause and say it. For example, you're using, say, an Indonesian word. How do you say "how are you" in Indonesian words? That you can say, we use, yes, apa kabar, right? We use give a pause, upper cover, which means how are you? And remember, if you are using a non-English words, you must give the most equivalent translation to the listener, to the examiner. Okay, this is another tip as well. Great. So extend your answers. For example, do not be limited to yes and no. Like, how often do you see football, Faisal? Great, very good. Very good. Another tip, when you'll be asked any question, do not answer more than 30 seconds. Do not go beyond 30 seconds roughly. Okay? Henry, what is your favorite sport, Henry? Soccer. How often do you play or watch it? Mhm. Very good. Both of you have answered well. Remember, sometimes some students are like this, once or twice, and they are finished. So do not be limited one or two words when you're answering. Give a little bit extension of the words of your sentences, but do not cross more than 30 to 40 seconds time. Depending on the speed and fluency, within this 30 to 40 seconds, you can create at least 5 to 6 sentences maximum. But expectation would be at least use 2 to 3 sentences. Okay, this is another tip. Extend your answer. Smiling, sometimes smile. We say eye contact and smile when you're answering. Smiling helps you calm down, cools. When students go to the exam, they become nervous, excited, they feel like pressure, and do not ever become nervous or pressurized. Otherwise, even you forget your normal answers. Be smile, okay? Be cool, calm and answer it. Smiling helps you good pronunciation. Okay? Do not, okay, explain another thing today. Do not speak in a monotone. Any idea monotone, Faisal or Henry? Okay. How about you, Henry? What do you understand by the word monotone? Okay, that's great. Both of you have answered well. Please remember English pronunciation, actually, any pronunciation of any language, it is like rhythm, music, it goes up and down. And especially in English expressions or speaking or conversation, uh, there are three types of tones. One is we call it higher tone, or it is also called intonation. Like, hey, my tone is going up. Yeah? Another is lower tone or down tone or falling intonation. Like, hey, now falling to upper or lower to upper. Hello, look, it's going up. And vice versa, upper to falling. Hello, this is like coming down, okay? And this one, like monotone, when we don't change the tone at all, like the robots speak, mechanical instruments. Let me give you an example. Like, uh, have you watched the movie called Terminator 2? Arnold Schwarzenegger, Judgment Day. His voice is like monotone. like wait here, I'll be back. Yeah, or this is T20. I'm from 2032. L- Please remember, we are humans. Yeah, monotone means same. Mono means same. One. Mono means one actually in Latin. So one tone. But please remember, when you are talking as a humans, we have got feelings, we have got expressions, and that is the reality. When you like to answer any question, use your expressions and feelings. That will really make your conversation amazing. Okay. And in academically it says we produce a flat sound or monotone, and there is no variation at all. It doesn't actually change in monotone, but in real life we change it. Then when you become angry, we lose our emotion, like, hey, what, you did it, for example. And remember, depending on the expression, one sound may have different meanings. Let me give you an example. Like, what, you did it, like you become angry. But if you say, what, you did it, it is a surprise. But if you fall your tone low more, what, you did it, shocked. Shocked, surprise, question, anger, depending on the tone. So tone is very important, please remember. And any speaking, it could be of whether any conversation or our daily life or any exam or any other public speaking. Okay. Thank you very much. And remember, the last part is, we know the common features, what we should follow. Now we have to practice IELTS topics. So if you have you know, a mobile phone, would you like to take this screenshot? These are the common topics that come in the IELTS exam: tourism and travel, education, transport, environment, family life, sport and deception, crime and punishment, the internet, advertising. Oh, okay. It's not moving for your side? Okay. How about you now? Can you, okay. Sometimes, the internet has really problems. Sorry for that. However, I can send this list in subscriber chat, but if you want to take a screenshot, that will be better for you. Okay. All right. I'm scrolling down more. And as I say, fluency is the last first part of speaking. Remember fluency. Hmm. And apart from fluency, can you see down the screen? Yes, Faisal and Henry. Yes, grammar, I have already explained. Clarity, yes, that's very important. Do not mumble. Sometimes some learners are really confused, and they don't want to speak clearly. Hey, thank you very much for the subscription, Anjali. Speak clearly and loudly. Remember, unless and until your examiner can hear you, the examiner won't be able to assess your speaking quality and marking. So make sure, please, uh, you must speak clearly and loudly enough. Okay. Hello, Anjali. Welcome. Yeah, keep listening, please, because we have got 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 57 seconds. Is going down. And then self correction. Okay, this is very important factor in IELTS exam. Say if you think that you have made a mistake in your speaking, correct it straight away. Okay. And if you do that, obviously you'll get a little bit extra mark. This is one of the criteria of IELTS marking. But if you think that no, that's fine, I'll just move on, you're welcome. Because being a candidate, it is expected that they won't make 100% accurate presentation or grammar. So don't worry about that. You have made a mistake, move on. But if you want to correct yourself, you're more than welcome. And talk loudly, that is very important. As I said, do not speak too fast or too slow, and do not rush. So what happens when you're speaking too much faster? You will lose your grammar, you lose your pronunciation, and possibly you will jumble the word. Okay, which means sometimes some word may be, connected and messed up. So maintain 3 to 5 seconds gap, as I've explained earlier. Give a pause if you don't know an answer. Think at least in between 3 to 5 seconds. Then you answer it. Okay, and be confident. Very important. Whatever you're answering, always be confident about your answer. Be positive. Do not be repetitive, as I said, or use scratch words, which will help you more. Use different kinds of vocabs. This is a simple example is if you want to use, say, beautiful, an adjective in a word, use it once or twice, and if you need to use it third time, use an synonyms like amazing or cute. Okay, make it personal. It means that when you're giving examples, well, let's give a personal example, like what would you do in this case, and make it interesting. The best way to make it interesting is when an IELTS exam is honestly nothing but creating a story of your own. So don't worry whether the story is true or fake and false. Sometimes some students say, "Teacher, this is fake things in my life." I'm just saying, don't worry. Nobody's going to judge the authenticity of the incident, but you'll be only judged for its speaking quality. And stick to the point, important point, because when you're talking about a topic, just talk about the topic only. Do not bring unnecessary information or unnecessary topic. And talk as much as you can, but remember the time is no more than 20 to 30 seconds for every answer. But this point 14 is very important in cue card or task 2. Okay, clear, all of you? Okay, 2 more points. Number 15, actually a few more. Speak naturally, follow the pronunciation techniques where possible, use correct intonation, speak articulately. You don't have to have any accent at all. Use correct context, collocation, connotation, which I explained earlier. Where possible, 17, use compound sentences. Now, I will explain a little bit more about compound sentences, but if you know it, let me know. Anjali, do you know what is compound sentence? Say it again. I'm not sure if I've understood it. It is one sentence, but more than one subject. I'm okay. All right. How about you, Henry? Compound sentence? Henry might be busy. How about you, Faisal? That's right. That's right. Okay. So Anjali and Faisal, yes. In a sub sentence, when there are more than one subject and one verb, but w- it should be individually not dependent to each other. So the best and simple example is that Let me ask you a question. And before that, according to me is actually another common incorrect use, Faisal. We use according to other than first person, like according to you, according to her, second person, third person. Remember, do not use it for the first person. This is another common mistake we use very often. So, in my opinion, you can say, or to me, or to my understanding, you can say, but do not use according to me, please. Yeah? Though some people say that it is correct, but I'll suggest you to avoid it. Please remember, in conversational English, everything is correct, everything is possible. But if you want to get good score when the teacher is going to assess your grammar, then it is better to use the corrected form. Okay. Okay. So best way. No worries. Remember, please, the best way to understand compound sentences is uh, I like tea, say you like coffee. Okay. Then I can say, hey, I like tea, but she likes coffee. All right. So in compound sentence, you can use those in adjectives. Also, fanboys is the, you said conjugation, conjunctions or related conjunctions like for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. And there are rules like you have to use either a comma or these words. Okay. So this is the simple example. I'll suggest both of you to read a little bit more how to create compound sentences. Because it will be helpful for your writing as well as for your speaking. All right, so I'll stop sharing there. So Anjali, where are you from? And thank you very much for the subscription. And what's the reason for the joining of this class? Sorry, I couldn't hear your last word. You'll study? You're going to sit for the IELTS exam. Best of luck. Okay, thank you very much. Because we have got only now 30 seconds more. Faisal, Henry, Anjali, and the people couldn't join. Gopal and Noman, I can see them. I tried to add them, but they couldn't join. If you have got any other questions or anything else, please send me message in subscriber chat. By the way, next week I'll be in holiday, so next week these two classes will be paused. That means you'll get 2 more extra class. Okay. Thank you very much. I'll see you later. Please practice at home. Bye.